Excuse the interruption, but I'm Sarah Hagler. Christian, this will be our first show using the fortune teller segment. Are you ready for some cross-dressing?
I'm Christian Quovang. Ready? As the immortal Rudy Rudiger said, I've been ready for this my whole life.
So the rumors are true?
What rumors? I've never tried to hide this side of me. The guys in the locker room are cool with it.
Well, I see you've only got clip-on earrings, so I have a hard time believing you've gone over to the other side. Hello, boys and girls. Today we've got 3 new segments: Report Card, Fortune Teller, and Role Playing. But we start off the show, as always, with headlines. Christian, were you surprised that North Star got 4 all-state players for girls and boys basketball?
It's very impressive for a school of our size to get 4 all-state players. Most schools from around the state can only say they got 1 or 2. But for a school like North Star to get 4, definitely shows the amount of talented athletes we have in such a small school.
I agree. It is quite impressive, but I think it is even more impressive to have 2 girls from North Star be all-staters. It has been a while since any girl has been on all-state team. For this year's team to have 2 make it, it really shows how much work they have put in over the years.
Sarah, who are you cheering for in the girls' state tournament?
I don't like cheering for any team but my own, but if I had to choose, it would be Lakota. I always cheer for the underdog, and they definitely were the underdog against Minot Ryan in the first round. They also represented our region, and I shouldn't hold a grudge just because they beat us.
I'm also an underdog type of guy, so I was definitely cheering for Shiloh in the championship game. They weren't the underdog throughout the whole tournament, but they definitely were the underdog in the last game, and they almost upended the undefeated Bishop Ryan Lions.
Besides North Star, who else in the girls' region will be tough for basketball next year?
Well, there are a lot of talented seniors graduating this spring, especially for schools like Carrington and Lakota. We will return a lot, but losing Allie will definitely hurt us. I can see Rolla being very competitive as they return Allie Vondell.
I agree. Benson County should be tough too with Schwanke and Jorgensen, but you need more than 1 or 2 players to make a team. A lot of teams are losing a lot of their best players, so I feel like it'll be a balanced region.
Sarah, does it help to play on teams like ECI, Phenoms, and Dakota Pride in the off-season?
Well, practice makes perfect, so I think it is good to be playing basketball over the summer, but I think you should try to work on it with their own high school team. And plus, on most of those traveling teams, you're playing with kids of the higher caliber, so you might not even get the work you want.
I don't really see there being any downfalls in playing basketball over the summer. The more that you play, the more you'll be ready for when the season comes around. You'll be playing some of the most talented teams in the nation, which can only make you better for when you're playing just teams in your state. Now it's time for a report card. Allie, what's first?
Thanks, Christian. Grade the colored socks that the boys wore at the state tournament.
Well, personally, I thought that the colored socks were a great idea. Not only did it make our team look cool, but it also made us unique from all the other teams out there. And I mean, come on, did you see Victor's watermelon socks? I give it an A.
C-. I personally like when everyone on the team matches. Some of the socks were so bright and colorful that it looked too flashy. We all have to wear the same color jerseys, so why not the same color socks, too? Next.
Lakota. Some people thought their celebration was a little weak. What's your grade?
The Lakota celebration was interesting. I guess it was nice to see their school spirit, but when your whole student body is out there and you only cover the half-court circle, it's kind of embarrassing. I will give them a C-.
The whole crowd from Lakota was very excited, and it seemed like their whole school was there cheering their hearts out, even though there wasn't very many of them. I will give them a B- for their effort.
Riley Legacy broke a window at the Townhouse Motel. What's your grade?
I'm going to be the nice teacher on this one, and I'm still going to give the kid a D. I mean, come on, not only did you break a window, but you also made everyone else be on their best behavior because all the team's warnings were now gone.
I think that's too low of a grade. Give the poor kid a break. It's not like he did it on purpose. Accidents happen. I will give him a C.
Christian, this grade was much too high. I guess if you want to express your individuality on the court, more power to you. I give you a C+. And I guess I'll put you down for an A.
That's it for Report Card. Time for a break. But on the way, another new segment. Simsalabim and Open Sesame. Boys and girls, it's time for Fortune Teller. I'm joined by Gypsy Rose Heisler. Let's take the first call.
Hey Christian, do you see the boys basketball team making it to state next year?
Although it will be a tough road, I do believe that the boys will make it back to the state tournament. With another year under their belts, they will be more experienced, and now they know what it takes to make it back. Plus, returning 2 All-Staters, you have to believe that they will be the favorite. I look into the crystal ball, and I see it happening.
Well, I look into the crystal ball and see it being a very difficult feat. Anything can happen during tournament time. Just making it to the regional championship game is a tough road for any team to travel. And next year, the boys won't be the underdogs like they were this year. After a third place finish at state and having no seniors graduate, they will definitely have a target on their back. There's no overlooking them next year. Next!
What's up, guys? It's Megan. Do you see the girls defeating Mount Ryan next season?
Although it will be a difficult task, I do see the girls possibly beating Minot Ryan. Even with them having Gabby Bull and Hannah Stewart, we returned quite a bit of size as well, and our guard play is a lot better than theirs.
Though I'd love to see an upset, I look into the crystal ball and see a young North Star team against a very experienced Bishop Ryan team. I predict it will be a rough game due to the fact that the game is early on in the season. I think it may take some time for our girls to gel together again, but I also believe facing that kind of competition will be invaluable for the girls next season. Next!
Hey, it's Steve. Do you see any new players helping with the boys basketball team next year?
Every team needs depth, and it was something that we didn't have much of this past year. So any new players coming in should be able to help us in that regard. We know what Riley Legacy is going to bring to the team, but there may be a couple more moving in. We'll have to wait and see what kind of impact they will make on the team's performance.
Yeah, I also see some bright prospects for the boys next season. Riley Legacy will be able to play varsity next season, and there are rumors of some open enroll players. I think the starting 5 should feel relieved to have some players that will be able to pick up a couple of varsity minutes, allowing them to have some breathers during games.
That's it for Fortune Teller. I foresee a short break so that we can get Sarah back in her desk. Welcome back, and now we have another new segment called Role Play. Here's the first one.
Who am I?
You're Alex Weston, hero of the Region 4 championship game. The question is, what do you have to say to those haters who won't give you credit for making the 2 big shots in the region championship game?
I can't believe there are people that think I just got lucky on those shots. Yeah, so what if I'm a bit on the scrawny side? That doesn't mean I can't shoot. Coach Hagler designed that play specifically for me to get those final shots. When I knocked both of them down, I made him look like a pure genius. And that's no easy task. Everyone else had the easy job of passing the ball 10 feet. I made the 20-foot shot to save the day. Besides, who else would you want taking the final shot? Quilving? Good luck with that.
Alright, now who am I?
Mr. Hagler,
I am?
just go with it. Every year, there are rumors that you'll be calling it quits for your coaching career. Do you plan on coming back for the 2014-15 season?
Are you kidding? Of course I'm going to be back. We just finished 3rd in the state and we have everyone coming back, plus possibly some new players. Why would I quit now? We've got as good a chance to win it as anyone next year. Now the year after that, that's when I'll probably be hanging it up. Because we got nothing coming back after next year. You hear me? Absolutely nothing. Zilch. Nada. Bupkiss. I'll let Haugen and Vogt steer that shipwreck back to shore. Alright, last one.
Who am I?
You're Peyton Halverson. In the big comeback against Harvey, you clearly kicked the ball out of bounds, but the refs gave the ball to North Star, and we ended up hitting a 3-pointer. Did you ever consider doing the right thing and telling the refs that it was off you?
Well, I didn't clearly touch it last, or the refs wouldn't have made that call. He was blocked off by the Harvey player, so I wouldn't say it was a bad call. So why embarrass him in front of thousands of people by letting them know he was wrong? Besides, there were probably other wrong calls earlier in the game that went against us, so it all evens out. The only thing I worried about was Carly trying to hide her giggle. I thought she was going to give it away. That's it for role play. Now it's time for the big finish.
Sarah, what's your prediction for next year's volleyball squad?
I think the volleyball team will be tough again next year. I predict that we will be one of the top teams in the Super Region. Christian, will the football team be able to rebound from their terrible season last year?
This upcoming season, the boys will be a lot more experienced, and now they have some senior leadership, which will help them later in the season against tougher teams. Sarah, it's your first year in track, and you're still alive?
Just barely holding on. Track is a lot more work than I thought.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better next time. Good night, knuckleheads.
Good night, Can Do.